Hi everyone, I'm Devin,
And I'm Andy.
and welcome back to
False
False Pretenses. Today we're going to be discussing everyone's favorite 90s action hero, Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes was the man in Hollywood from the late 80s to the early 90s, and even to the beginning of the 2000s. He starred in movies such as Blade, White Man Can't Jump, and many more. Snipes has received 10 awards for his work in Hollywood and was nominated another 22 times. Wesley Snipes was discovered at the age of 23 while performing in a competition, and he would make his film debut in the 1986 Goldie Hawn vehicle Wildcats. Later that year, he would also appear on the TV show Miami Vice as a drug-dealing pimp in the episode Streetwise.
Let's go.
This launched him towards the spotlight, and he went on to become one of the brightest stars in Hollywood. Unfortunately for Snipes, what goes up must come down, and in 2006 he was charged with 1 count of conspiring to defraud the United States and 1 count of knowingly making or aiding and abetting the making of a false and fraudulent claim for payment against the United States. Snipes was also charged with 6 counts of willfully failing to file federal income tax returns by their filing dates.
I don't understand what makes a well-established actor just feel like I make millions, but I'm just not going to file my taxes.
Honestly, in all of the research that I did for this, it all boils down to he was given bad advice and he believed it.
That's tough, man. Like a Michael Vick situation, you just surround yourself with the wrong ones.
And he went to prison for it.
I mean, that's why it's so important to keep that circle close and not let just anyone in. Because once you got money, they gonna be coming.
As Drake once said, no new friends.
No new friends. No
new.
friends. No.
Please don't sue us. The conspiracy charge against Snipes alleged that he had filed a false amended return, including a false tax refund claim of over $4 million for the year 1996 and a false amended return including a false tax refund claim of over $7.3 million in 1997. The government also charged that Snipes failed to file tax returns for the years 1999 through 2004. Snipes responded to his indictment in a letter on December 4th, 2006, declaring himself to be a non-resident alien of the United States. In reality, Snipes is a birthright U.S. citizen. Such tactics are common of the Freemen Sovereign Citizen, or OPCA, which stands for Organized Pseudo-Legal Commercial Argument, category of litigation strategy. The government alleged that Snipes attempted to obtain fraudulent tax refunds using a tax protester theory called the 861 argument.
I think that we're all familiar with the Wesley Snipes story, but I honestly did not realize just how stupid this dude was. These decisions are ridiculous. And this 861 argument, like, what exactly is that? I have no idea what that is.
I'm glad you asked. The 861 argument is a statutory argument used by tax protesters in the United States, which interprets a portion of the Internal Revenue Code as invalidating certain applications of income tax. Internal Revenue Code 861, entitled Income from Sources Within the United States, is a provision of the Internal Revenue Code which delineates that some kinds of income shall be treated as income from sources within the United States, namely income of non-resident alien individuals and certain foreign corporations, but it is not an exhaustive list of taxable income. The definitions in the section apply only to that section. The language of Section 861 is occasionally cited by tax protesters who claim that the statute excludes some portion of the income of U.S. citizens and resident aliens from taxation. The argument has been uniformly held by courts to be incorrect, and persons who have cited the argument as a basis for refusing to pay income taxes have been penalized and in some cases jailed.
That's dumb. Like, it's like case law that your argument is wrong. I mean, I understand trying to fuck with the IRS because they're government employees and they make mistakes. So sometimes they send out letters and they're just dumb fucking wrong. However, fucking with the IRS in this fashion is just ridiculous.
I did say that he surrounded himself with some unsavory people. The people that Snipes surrounded himself were named Eddie Ray Kahn and Douglas P. Rosile, who were the co-defendants in his trial. Kahn is an alleged ringleader of a Central Florida tax protest group called American Rights Litigators, then known as the Guiding Light of God Ministries. As although Snipes earned more than $37 million in gross income from 1999 to 2004, he did not file file an individual federal income tax return for any of those years. These were not, however, silent years. After meeting with ARL, Snipes began long conversations with the IRS. He sent letters describing theories about why the IRS was powerless to collect income taxes from him, and several altered tax forms demanding money for taxes he had rendered in earlier years. Thus, for example, in April 2001, Snipes sent an altered form 1040X, which he had demanded a refund of over $7 million for taxes paid in the calendar year 1997.
He didn't pay at all in 1997, right?
Those were just his income taxes that were already taken out of his check.
Oh, okay. So he said, I need them bitches
He's
back.
like, I need that back because I'm not a U.S. citizen.
Right. Okay.
When he was
That makes
born in the
sense to me
United
now.
States.
It's like the whole, like you said, the sovereign citizen like argument, which is just ridiculous.
Which is why we, made sure to mention that he was born in Orlando, Florida.
Yeah. And hey, if you want to become sovereign yourself, you can go ahead and give away all your rights if you want to.
On February 1st, 2008, the jury convicted co-defendants Kahn and Rosal on counts 1 and 2, the conspiracy and false claim charges, but acquitted Snipes on these same charges. The jury convicted Snipes, however, on counts 3, 4, and 5 for the willful failure to file individual federal income tax returns for the calendar years 1999, 2000, and 2001. On April 24th, 2008, Snipes was sentenced to 3 years in prison for willful failure to file federal income tax returns. Kahn was sentenced to 10 years in prison, and Rosal was sentenced to 4.5 years in prison.
Wesley Snipes was a huge part of most of our childhoods. But I will say, I was honestly getting pretty sick and tired of all the stories that we were doing that just ended up in fines and like no jail time. So I'm glad that the punishment finally fit the crime.
In this case, don't let people just tell you that you can get away with not paying your taxes due to the, Section 861, because we now know it will not work. It has been found to be false in multiple cases, and you may serve jail time, just like Mr. Snipes.
Yeah, and we don't want you serving jail time. I don't want you paying taxes either. I hate taxes just as much as the next person, and I cannot stand the IRS, but do it. It's not worth not doing, I promise. Let us know what you guys think about Wesley Snipes in the comments. Is this a ridiculous story? Do you remember when it was being reported on? What are your thoughts? If you like the video, go ahead and smash that like button, of course. And if you're interested in more fraud documentaries like this, go ahead and check out the channel and think about hitting that subscribe button, as well as the bell icon so that you're notified every single time that we upload. That's it for us at False Pretenses. We'll catch you next time. Wesley Snipes.
What are you coming for you? What you gonna do?
Not pay the IRS.